What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all of the jumps, spots, and lines of sight that I know of on every map in Advanced Warfare. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the first of the Ascendance DLC maps, and that is Perplex. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so Perplex, as you probably know if you've played this map before, it is a very small and very hectic map, and everybody is always constantly moving on this map, and that makes it very difficult to find good spots to use and share with you guys. So I do have some spots with you, but be warned right at the beginning here, there aren't a ton of spots, and not all of these spots I'm going to share with you are actually going to be useful in-game because people are just moving too much in this map for these spots to be effective. So let's start it off with a counter to this spot where I'm standing right now. This is a very popular spot for people to try and get to. It's kind of a king of the hill sort of thing. Just about every match it kind of seems to turn into that. Everyone's fighting for either this rooftop or that rooftop over there. But I have a great counter to this rooftop, and that is all the way down by the A flag here. This is pretty well a sniper spot, but it can be used in other game mode, or with other guns as well, not other game modes. But essentially right here, you can't see them, they can't see you. So they're typically not looking this far back on the map. They're more worried about the people like right by the B flag or up on that rooftop there. So if you come all the way back to this corner and jump right on top of this pole in the corner, look at that. You have a perfect line of sight over to that rooftop. Of course, if they're looking for you, they will definitely see you and they'll be able to pick you off. But most of the time, like I said, they're not looking this way, so it's very easy to pick them off from this spot, especially with a sniper rifle, because there's almost always going to be somebody up there or fighting for that position up there. Now the reverse of that works exactly the same way. So if they're on that other rooftop, all you have to do is come up to this pole now in the other corner, and there you go. Once again, you have a great line of sight to that rooftop. If you want, you can jump up and get a little bit of a better line of sight. But if you're just standing on the pole, you get a nice line of sight towards that rooftop. Okay, so a lot of you guys might not know, but these planks on this map are actually destructible. This was shared to me by the One Boom. He showed me this. I had no idea this happened until he showed me. And we can actually use this to our advantage a little bit. So if we punch these spots out right here, it actually opens up some nice little cracks to shoot through. Like I said, with this map, people are typically moving around way too much for this to actually be effective. But you could use this to watch that little area there, that tunnel, if they happen to be running through there. Or you can kind of watch across the way there. But to be honest, you're not going to be very effective sitting in that spot like that. Now, a really similar spot, and this one I could actually see being used practically in a game, is if you're behind this piece of cover, for instance, and an enemy is over behind that piece of cover, and they're trying to use that cover, you're trying to use this cover. If you go prone right here, you can shoot this plank out. Look at that. You get a great line of sight over to that piece of cover. Again, I wouldn't lay here all game because somebody will just boost slam you from up top. But in that one situation where maybe you're on a one-on-one gunfight against somebody that's over here, if you lay down like this, there you go. Great line of sight on them, and you can easily win that gunfight. Now, getting over into this corner of the map, we have this kind of pod building here. And you can shoot through all of this glass back here, and you can actually come back here. Not really much to point out there. And I was really excited when I saw this, but then I realized you cannot shoot through this glass at all. It's great for watching for people, to see if people streak across there. The uplink satellite actually drops right in that spot there, so you can kind of check the situation out before diving into it and coming around this corner through this window, but just be aware you can't shoot through it and they can't shoot through it either. So it's just a spot to use to look for things. Now back in this corner, I actually have a really effective spot, and this is one that I will actually be using in game because people love to camp just on the outside edge of that wall there because they have great cover from across the way. They actually camp there a little bit more often than they would on top of that roof. And they don't typically look for people that are way back here. So if you just come back into this corner and just back off just enough to peek over top, you're exposing very little of yourself. Like maybe just the tip of your head and maybe your shoulders if you back off enough. Whereas they don't really have much cover at all. So they're actually really easy to pick off from this location. Now, if you have an enemy that's camping in that back corner building there, which is relatively common, it's actually kind of surprisingly common, a great way to pick them off is to lay down back here in this building. And you can shoot through this glass, and it won't even affect your bullet damage at all, as far as I can tell. It's very easy to get one-shot kills with sniper rifles, or just a few shots to kill with an assault rifle from this position, and you're very, very hard to see. They're not typically looking through that, trying to find you there. Another way to kill them, which is actually a little bit better because it gives you slightly better cover, and you have a little bit more control over your character because you can move, is you just back off into these stairs right here. If you hug up against this wall to the side here, you can just kind of peek up, take your shot, you can easily crouch down, and it's very easy to pick those people off as they camp in that back corner, or maybe they're just coming from that back area. Maybe the hard point's active right here, and you just want to lock that building down. It's a very effective spot to do that. Now, another thing you can do from here is you can actually lock down towards the other building as well, so it's actually quite a powerful position. So, as you can see right here, you can just barely see into that doorway if you stand up. You can see into that doorway, you can see that one half of the doorway anyways, and you can pick them off as they try to come through there. And also, if you back off down here, look at that. This is one of the best spots I'm going to be showing you in this video. You just back off to here, and you can pick people off that are on that rooftop or battling for that top area there, which is very, very common. And you get a nice line of sight through all of those areas up there. And again, you can easily shoot through this glass. You won't lose any bullet damage, or you'll lose very, very little bullet damage through there. So now I have a couple really cool lines of sight towards the C flag. I don't know how practical they're going to be because people are moving around so much on this map, and it would be a relatively difficult shot to hit with a sniper rifle. But the first one here is behind this trash can. If you actually crouch right here and you move to the right spot, you can look right through this crack here. You'll be almost completely invisible to them, pretty much invisible. And you can easily pick them off if they just decide to lay on the flag to try and capture it. If they're moving around though, it is quite a difficult shot to hit. But you can shoot through there. You won't lose any bullet damage obviously because it's actually not going through anything. And it's kind of a cool way to pick them off the C flag. It just takes a little bit too long to set up. So you might not be able to hit that shot before they capture the C flag. And right next to it is this pole right here. If you were to jump up on top of this pole, they can't really see your legs, or just barely. They can kind of see your feet if they're on the C flag. If you stand up, you can see their upper bodies. If you jump, you can see the entire capture area of the C flag, so you can maybe try for a jump shot on them if you need to. It's just one thing to point out. Just keep in mind, of course, you are extremely exposed, like pretty much anywhere on this map. If anybody's up there, you're dead. If anybody's over here, you're dead. Anybody comes from this area, you're dead. So I really wouldn't recommend sitting on here, sitting on this spot all game. But if you find yourself in this area of the map and maybe they start shooting at you here, maybe if you're fast enough, you can jump up to this spot and get a better vantage point on them and pick them off. But I don't know, it might not be the most practical spot in the world. Now, getting a little bit closer to the C flag, you can actually use these areas right here to kind of see over into that direction. You might get lucky. They might be trying to capture the C flag from right there, and you can easily pick them off. They'll have no idea what hit them. But this is actually a little bit better on the reverse. So while you're capturing the C flag, you can get a great line of sight over towards that half of the map. Or you can sit right towards this corner here if you're defending the C flag and you know they're coming from that area. You want to lock that side down. You can very easily cover this half of the map by doing that. But again, you are exposed to these rooftops. You always have to be thinking of those rooftops while playing this map. So one thing I wanted to point out that's especially useful for domination is this wall right here, this orange wall that people will use as cover to capture the B flag, is basically paper thin. You can spray through this wall and lose very little bullet damage and easily get kills. So if you happen to be on this rooftop and the enemy starts capturing B and you can't see them, just spray through here and you'll likely still get the kill. Now, a lot of the times, like I said kind of at the beginning of this video, you're going to be battling from this rooftop area here to that rooftop area there. And if somebody's up on top, like right up top there on that roof, a lot of people will try and like peek around the corner and shoot them. And this is pretty well a fair gunfight, and they might even have a slight advantage over you. So what I like to do is, if I have the option to, if I'm not being shot from other areas, which is usually the case, you can hop right on top of these chairs here, or this couch here. And look at that. You can crouch, you get a nice line of sight on them. All you have to do is move forward to get behind cover, and you can easily pick them off through there, or at least much easier than exposing your whole body by doing this. Now keep in mind, they can shoot through this stuff right here, so if they're smart, they'll just spray right through there and they'll kill you anyways, but you still have the advantage in this gunfight because they won't really see you nearly as easy as you'll be able to see them. Now I just wanted to point out that this actually works the same in the reverse, so if you jump up on this, it's actually a little bit better because you don't have to jump right on top. If you just walk up on top of these, get a great line of sight, crouch, you're hidden more or less from them. Stand up again, you can easily see them. If you want a better line of sight even, you can jump up right on top here, and it gives you a nice line of sight over towards them. And also through this crack here, you can kind of see the B flag area. I wouldn't really rely on this though to try and defend the B flag from. So that's all I've got for you guys on this map. I know it wasn't the most crazy in-depth episode with some awesome, amazing spots in it, but that's just kind of the nature of this map. It's wide open, it's got a lot of verticality, and there aren't a lot of great spots to use. So let me know in the comment section below which one of the Ascendance maps you'd like me to cover next. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.